cyberpunks and retro nerds, welcome back to another edition of Neon Motherfucking Trash. I'm your host, Tommy the Hammer. Today we are doing another episode of Tech Talk with Tommy. And this time around we're going to be checking out the Sega Genesis bootleg cart called Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I happened to get this on Amazon Marketplace. Back in the day, Mortal Kombat was everywhere. It was infamous, super popular, very controversial, and it was that series right there that got the video game rating board pretty much invented. I mean, back then, there was no ratings for video games, and the violence that was on display for Mortal Kombat was so visceral, so shocking. This right here, when I first saw it online, I was kind of blown away. I was like, I have to buy this for my collection. Mainly because I'm a huge MK fan. I grew up with the original series. I remember playing Mortal Kombat way back in the day in the arcade with my brother. I'm an OG fan. And we've kind of touched on some Mortal Kombat stuff here on the channel before, so I'm not going to take a huge deep dive into my own personal history with Mortal Kombat. So basically what this hacker has done is taken the Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3 and beefed it up. And let's get this show on the road! Guys, right off the rip, there's a few things that I want to kind of discuss in terms of Mortal Kombat and the home console versions that were released back in the 1990s. During that era, there was this thing going on called the console wars. basically Nintendo and Sega Genesis were definitely at each other's throats with who could release the bigger and better games. Maybe some of it seemed a little cutthroat and unforgiving and juvenile, especially Sega Genesis. I mean, they had no bones about picking on Nintendo, and Nintendo itself just kind of ignored it and kept releasing quality material. You know, back when Mortal Kombat first got released on home consoles, it was unequivocally a win for Sega Genesis, and not so much in terms of the gameplay, but because they went balls to the walls with the gore, whereas Nintendo, they came up short. They censored their game, and they dropped the ball with that first Mortal Kombat. Well, needless to say, they didn't make that mistake a second time, because when Mortal Kombat 2 came out for the Super Nintendo, it blew Sega Genesis out of the water. In terms of the Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat games, without a doubt, they weren't the best. They came up short in terms of sound effects, color, the sprites were kind of wonky, this and that, but that never really mattered to me. I just wanted to play the game at home, because when you went into the arcades, well, you would be cranking quarters into these machines, what we used to call coin monsters back in the day. This cartridge, in a way, takes all of those games and puts them together in one crazy, insane package. I'm even willing to go and say that I think this is the best Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. Now hold up guys. I know. Ballsy comment, ballsy statement. And judging solely on based on what you guys saw with that footage, you may or may not agree with me. Now, in terms of what the Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat games came up short with back in the day, this makes up for in sheer content. The character roster is through the fucking roof, and that alone, in my humble opinion, is worth the price of admission. I paid, now this is going to sound insane, nearly $40 to $50 for this cartridge, no box, no instruction manual, off of Amazon Marketplace, and I think it is completely worth the money. Yeah, sure, maybe some of the coloring isn't the best, but the developer of this hack really worked marvels. The gameplay, the characters play excellent, and the moves are all there. They're easy to execute, the combos are fluid, and the way the characters move, I'm even willing to say that it works a little bit better than the big releases back in the 90s. And that's a weird thing, where the hackers and the bootlegs got it right, whereas the big budget studios and the developers may have dropped the ball back in the day. Now, there's definitely some issues I could take with the backgrounds and the coloring, but that's a small gripe, because I feel like, once again, this hacker has worked wonders with this cartridge. Despite the fact that the Sega Genesis could only do so many color outputs on screen, the main focus here is on the sprites and the characters. The backgrounds kind of just serve as a palette for the overall game, and the characters and the combos and the fatalities. So if you're looking for something that balances it out in terms of the stage design, the music, the colors and the sprites and all that stuff, this won't really be your cup of tea. But if you're looking for something that takes all of those Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat games, merges them into one big, omnipresent, badass Mortal Kombat experience, then this is definitely for you. There's this crazy little, I don't even know if you can call it a secret, but basically you build your own tower to fight. And what that means is you pick your character, and then you pick what villains you want to fight, how big the tower is that you want to ascend, And that is amazing. So let's say that your favorite character is Scorpion and you want to fight 3 or 4 different versions of Sub-Zero. Well, there you go. You've got it. Now, I would have taken a deep dive in this video on those extra features, but I feel like I would be doing this bootleg a serious disservice if I tried to even approach filming all the secrets this game has, because I can't, guys. Simply put, I basically take my camcorder and sit it in front of my flat screen TV and record my experience. I don't have all sorts of crazy computer technology to where I can, you know, mainline my old school 16-bit and 8-bit systems into a file and then edit them. I'm not all fancy like that, and that's part of the appeal of Neon Trash, is that we do things low tech. And I'm hoping that for those of you that are fans of Mortal Kombat and fans of my channel, you understand that. But what this video really is a testament to this bootleg. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think I could go ahead and give this, I mean, it's a bootleg. It comes across raw as hell. Guess what? It's a 10 out of a motherfucking 10. Yes, this is everything I want in Mortal Kombat. All the characters, all the stages, the freedom to pick those stages, the freedom to create your own tower, and all the secrets, all the crazy gore and insane humor. It's all here. So if that's your bag, if you like bootlegs and hacks and strange little cartridges such as this, and you're a Mortal Kombat fan, definitely check it out. It's perfect for you and your buddies to be sitting around, cracking open some beers, busting out some 16-bit action, pop this right into your system, and you guys can play it for hours, guaranteed, because there's so many secrets, so many bizarre things that this developer has put into this game, and it offers up something new with each battle, whether it's a fatality that you've never seen before, or an animality, or a babality, or a friendship. Each one is something new, something different, and the craziest part about it is all the fatalities and combos and new moves that the characters from Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 can execute. So guys, with all that being said, I hope I've been informative. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Motherfucking Trash. Cheers, folks.